Dylan Wayne Frucci, 209 Vidette Avenue. What did I do this morning in history class? I started playing football at a very young age in third grade, about 9 years old, and every time I would suffer a big hit, that would run through my mind to make sure I was okay. And I think I can speak for a lot of other football players that they would do similar things, even though we should have sought medical attention. And this idea of brain injuries is something that is very prevalent in the sport of football today with the rise of CTE, both all the way from high school all the way to the NFL. So I will be discussing in the rest of my speech what CTE is, what's all involved with it, some research or some case studies on deceased football players' brains into how they were affected and how many people were affected by it, and what the NFL is doing to prevent this disease today. So CTE is the degenerative brain disease found in people with a history of repetitive brain trauma. So this ranges all the way from football players to boxers, people in the military coming home from combat and duty, and even people that have been in car accidents multiple times. It's not just one blow to the head, it's repeated blows. So one concussion or one hit isn't going to cause this disease, it's repeated. And the symptoms of it are very similar to dementia, that being memory loss, confusion, depression. But the difference is it's accelerated. So CTE affects you at a much younger age rather than where dementia comes in the older you get. It's more prevalent in older people than this disease. According to Dr. Ann McKee, who is a neuropathologist in Boston, she did a 2017 study, and she studied 202 football players, 111 of them being NFL players, and she found cases of CTE in 110. So 110 out of 111 people that had played professional football that they studied had suffered from this disease. And like I was saying earlier, the study they did the study on a range of people, 29 years old all the way to 89. So dementia comes in later in your life, but CTE is accelerated. So it affected one guy who was only 29 years old when he died, and he was already suffering from it. She also found that this study is 9% higher, or CTE is 9% higher in football players rather than just the general public. So this shows that there is an increased risk in playing football, or there's an increased risk that you will develop this disease through playing the sport. In regards to this research that the doctor in Boston did, the NFL released a statement saying that they were going to donate $100 million to fighting CTE, both in research towards the disease and development into better equipment. So they're going to research how they could better fight this CTE and help players that have played in the past or still playing today, and how they can deal with it if they've developed CTE, and how they can better produce technology to prevent this in future use or future years. That way football can still be a sport that everyone can take part in without fearing that they're going to develop these such brain injuries and diseases. So also the NFL has gone on to change 47 rules since 2002 to help better protect the players. So they're doing a lot to protect the players, and along with protecting the players, they also have looked into what CTE is, like we did, and this case study that I talked about. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a better understanding of what this brain injury is.